Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Astrology Unlocked. A very special welcome to all of you magnificent, fiery Aries. I want you to gather close for this one, because the energy that is building around you right now is nothing short of extraordinary. I have a feeling you can already sense it, can't you? That subtle, electric hum in the air, that feeling in your warrior heart that a great shift is on the horizon. Have you ever had the feeling that those who tried to dim your light, to extinguish your brilliant flame, were the very first to recognize its power? And do you know, deep in your soul, that the quiet you've been cultivating isn't surrender? Oh no, my dear Aries, it's the deep, focused breath before the triumphant roar. The universe has been watching, and tomorrow, everything changes. The ones who underestimated you, who called your passion aggression and your confidence arrogance, are beginning to feel a tremor of panic because a sacred, undeniable force is rising to stand with you. They once whispered your name in shadows, hoping to keep you contained. But the fire you've been stoking in silence is about to become an inferno, and its light is about to illuminate everything. Because tomorrow, my dear friend, a profound truth is set to be unleashed. A turning point is arriving, and you, the one so often misunderstood, the one labeled too much or too intense, will become the living, breathing proof of something the world desperately needs to see. That courage, wrapped in a true heart, will always win the battle. I know you've been wondering, can my directness truly be a gift? You've likely doubted yourself, asking if toning down your fire is the only way to find peace. Well, the cosmos is about to answer with a resounding no. You are not too much. You were chosen to be a trailblazer, a leader carrying a torch of authenticity, and it is the sheer, brilliant heat of that torch that they have always feared. If you feel this message resonating deep within your spirit, share your birth date in the comments below, and prepare to witness the blessings and breakthroughs that the universe is aligning just for you. And if you haven't already, please be sure to press that subscribe button and join our beautiful Astrology Unlocked family. You won't want to miss the magical journey we're walking together. Those who once threw shadows on your path, who used your pioneering spirit for their own gain, only to discard you when your light grew too bright, they can feel it now. There is a shift in the cosmic winds, an energy they cannot manipulate, a transformation surging from your very core, like a volcano preparing to reshape the landscape. Tomorrow, the masks are going to fall. And the most beautiful part? You won't have to say a single word. You won't need to fight, to prove, or to justify anything. Because the truth, your truth, will finally stand on its own, undeniable and clear as a battle horn on a crisp morning. You have held your tongue for long enough, haven't you, Aries? You have consciously chosen your battles, stepping back not from weakness, but from wisdom, allowing others to have their moment. You've endured the sting of being misunderstood, of having your intentions twisted, and you've called it learning patience. You've had fiery conversations with the universe in the dead of night, channeling your frustration not into destruction, but into creation, into plans, into a stronger version of yourself. You didn't lash out, not because you were afraid, but because you were protecting the most sacred part of you, your magnificent, untamable spirit. You see, Aries, you are not just impulsive, you are an ancient soul, a divine warrior, pioneering and profound. And right now, Mars, your magnificent ruling planet, the god of courage and action, is rising in the celestial heavens, sharpening its blade in the cosmic forge. Your intuition, that gut feeling that has always been your truest compass, is becoming as sharp and clear as a diamond. Truths are beginning to emerge from the cracks in the foundations of the old world. Tomorrow, you are going to uncover a secret, a piece of the puzzle that has been long buried, a stray comment, a sudden realization, an action you witness will stop you in your tracks, and in that moment of crystal clarity, you will know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you were right all along. You weren't being paranoid. You weren't overreacting. You were simply vibrating at a frequency of truth that was ahead of its time. Perhaps you've had a vision, a powerful dream of standing on a mountaintop, with a storm raging below you, but you remained untouched. A single beam of sunlight breaking through the clouds to illuminate you. In that vision, a figure forged of fire and stars stood before you, their eyes holding the wisdom of 1,000 battles won. You didn't walk toward them with your feet, but with your spirit. And they spoke not in words, but in pure feeling, a transmission directly to your soul. "I have been waiting for you, warrior of light." You thought, "But I felt so powerless." And the being replied, "No. You have been learning to wield your power with intention. You have been learning that a sword is not for mindless destruction, but for carving a path of truth. You have been mastering your own fire. Will anyone ever understand the battles you fought in silence? Tomorrow, when the great cosmic gate of action swings open, the light of your authentic self will be a beacon calling your name. And those who thrive in the shadows of deceit and manipulation will have nowhere left to hide. You woke from that vision with your heart beating like a drum of war. But a powerful peace had already settled over you. You knew that this inner vision was more real, more potent than any spoken word. When your passion is mislabeled as anger, when your decisive action is called recklessness, that is the universe testing you. It's asking, can you hold the sacred fire of your soul, even when the world tries to douse it with water? And you did, Aries. Even as the winds of doubt blew, even as others turned away, you held onto the core of who you are. And that, my friend, was your first, most important victory. Your great lesson wasn't about seeking revenge. It was about allowing the truth to blaze its own path, about letting the universal laws of cause and effect unfold without you needing to force the issue. Do you know why you never truly broke? Because the whispers of your ancestors, a lineage of warriors, pioneers, and leaders, have always been louder than the curses of your enemies. Tomorrow you will stand in the center of a whirlwind of revelation, and you will not have to lift a finger. You will only need to be fully, unapologetically present in your own magnificent power. So today, dear Aries, if your heart is racing, if you feel a surge of adrenaline in your veins, know that it is not anxiety. It is the echo of cosmic confirmation. You are being seen. You are being acknowledged. And you, yes you, are the answer to a prayer you yourself sent out into the cosmos long ago. No one can steal the fire from a soul who lives in radical truth. No one can manipulate a spirit that has been forged in the fires of personal trials. You no longer need to seek validation from the outside world. Your name is already written in the stars, in the grand cosmic ledger of souls who dared to be themselves. Tomorrow is not just another date on the calendar. It is a soul catalyst, a divine intervention, a powerful symbol that appears right when you've stopped pushing and started allowing. It could be a hawk circling overhead, just as you are about to give up on a dream. It could be the number 1, appearing everywhere, signaling new beginnings. It might be a song on the radio that speaks directly to your spirit, a sudden, intuitive download that gives you goosebumps. When that happens, don't you dare dismiss it. That is the universe winking at you. That is you being seen. I want you to write it down, to anchor that moment. Affirm it like a sacred ritual. I remember this. I have been seen, and I survived, not by becoming smaller, but by finally embracing my own power. You have kept your warrior heart intact, not to impress anyone, but to awaken the part of your soul that has been waiting for the signal to charge forward. Are you ready for this next chapter, Aries? Because in this chapter, you will see that the truth not only silences your detractors, but also makes the universe itself rearrange to clear a path for the light you carry. Have you ever felt like you're a blazing fire in a world made of paper, constantly having to manage your own heat so as not to burn everything down? That you carry a passion that feels too big for the small-mindedness around you? My dear Aries, you are not wrong for the intensity of your spirit. You are not out of place. You are simply tuned into a primal frequency of action and truth that others have learned to ignore out of fear. And tomorrow, that frequency will resonate so powerfully that no one can pretend they don't hear it. The universe is about to speak your language, the language of bold action, of undeniable truth, of sacred fire. And those who never understood your dialect will finally have to listen. Tomorrow, you will no longer linger in the shadows of self-doubt, no longer hide your brilliance for the comfort of others. Because something is going to happen. A synchronistic event, a vivid dream, a conversation that feels divinely orchestrated. But it will hold enough light to shatter the skepticism that has surrounded you for so long. You won't need to argue your case. You won't have that satisfying, but ultimately fleeting moment of saying, "I told you so," because tomorrow, the universe itself will be your vindication. You will find yourself being validated, not by people, but by a divine force that has been watching your journey, honoring your courage every step of the way. You are not made to blend in with the majority, Aries. You are a soul born to initiate, to lead, to turn righteous anger into sacred action. And because of that, you have been tested more than most. You were the child who couldn't sit still, not because you were naughty, but because your spirit yearned to explore, to create, to begin. You were the friend who always charged ahead to defend others, but were rarely asked if you needed someone to guard your own back. You've moved through life like a spiritual catalyst. Everyone who came into contact with your fire was either transformed by it or ran from it. But no one ever paused long enough to see the incredible strength it took for you to keep that fire burning. You had that vision, the one where you stood in the heart of a volcano, but instead of being consumed by the lava, you were forged by it, glowing like liquid gold, and a voice that was not a voice, but a feeling of absolute knowing, echoed from the very core of your being. You have endured the forge long enough. But why did no one see my struggle? Because they were blinded by the light of your flame. But you are seen by the cosmos. So what will happen tomorrow? You will remember your own power, and they, the ones who doubted you, will stand in awe of the raw, untamable force they could never comprehend. You will wake up not with anger, but with a profound sense of peace, as if an ancient battle within you has finally been won, without a single sword being lifted. Tomorrow, your greatest lesson will not come through more struggle, It will come through confirmation. It will arrive like a sudden burst of sunlight after a long storm, and you will realize that there is no need to fight with darkness. You only need to shine your own light brighter. Light never has to scream. It doesn't need to justify its existence. It simply is. And that, magnificent Aries, is why you are still standing, despite every attempt to knock you down. All the challenges that once made you stumble, tomorrow they will become the very steps that elevate you, not as a victor gloating over the defeated, but as a sovereign soul who kept their honor in the midst of chaos. Aries, you do not need anyone's permission to be who you are, because your soul was empowered by the universe at the moment of your birth. You are the keeper of the sacred spark in a world that is growing dim. You are the courageous action amongst hesitation, the roar of truth in a world of whispers. And because of that, you are never, ever ordinary. Tomorrow, when everything inside you ignites, when a powerful intuition screams, "Now is the time," know this: you are not acting alone. An entire spiritual lineage of trailblazers stands behind you, and they have waited an eternity to see you finally remember the power you carry. Tomorrow, you might see a sign. Someone who once tried to hold you back suddenly stumbles in their own path. An old song that was your anthem of power plays at the exact moment you decide to take a leap of faith. A hawk, the messenger of the gods, lands on a branch right in front of you. Do not dismiss it. It is the perfect harmony between the cosmos and your will. A confirmation that only those who have dared to act on their own inner knowing can truly understand. I want you to write this under the video like a warrior's declaration. I remember this. I have been called to action. I am ready not to fight a war, but to become the victory. Let those words be the seal of a moment where your soul fully awakens, throwing open the gates that have held you back for too long. You've taken a monumental step forward, Aries. There are pains you no longer speak of, not because you've forgotten them, but because you've integrated their lessons. They live inside you now, not as thorns, but as the very fuel for your fire. You once asked the universe, "Why do I feel everything so intensely? Why do I fight for others only to be left standing alone? Why is it so easy for others to give up while I can never surrender?" You were not wrong to ask those questions, my friend. It's just that no one ever told you that your scars are not signs of damage. They are the marks of a warrior, the gateways to a power greater than you can imagine. Tomorrow, the cracks in your armor will no longer be vulnerabilities. They will be the very places where your inner light shines out most brilliantly. Not because you are suddenly invincible, but because you have stopped fighting your own nature and have started to wield it like the sacred weapon it is. And from that moment on, you are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the master of your destiny. Your enemies are panicking, not because you are preparing to attack them, but because you are becoming untouchable in your authenticity. Do you remember the last time you took a risk and were met with failure? Do you remember the look someone gave you that made you feel small and reckless? All of those moments, they haven't disappeared. They have been alchemized in the fire of your soul, becoming the foundation for a spirit that can walk through flames without being burned. You are fire, Aries, but not the chaotic, destructive kind. You are the fire of the forge, the fire of the hearth, the fire of the sunrise, burning with purpose, burning away illusion. And tomorrow, you will witness something remarkable. Someone who once dismissed you, who looked down on your ambition, will look at you with a newfound, quiet respect. They won't say a word, but their energy will scream, I no longer have any power over that person. That Aries has become a force of nature. A symbol will appear, and only your soul will understand its message. A dream of forging a key from raw iron. A sudden jolt of energy that makes you feel you could run a marathon. A melody that feels like a battle cry. Do not ignore it. That is the soul's code reserved for those who have walked through the valley of doubt and emerged with their fire still lit. You do not heal by forgetting your past. You heal by honoring the warrior who survived it. Your greatest lesson is not in letting go of your anger, but in channeling it into an unstoppable force for creation and positive change. You have endured so much, and instead of becoming bitter and jaded, you have become more focused, more potent, more brilliantly alive. That is what makes you so magnificent, dear Aries. You may have been sidelined, you may have been underestimated, but that does not define you. What defines you is your unshakable courage to get back up every single time with your belief in your own mission still intact. That is what makes you one of the rare souls carrying the true spark of creation. You don't need to be understood by everyone. You only need to never, ever betray yourself. And you didn't. Despite being challenged, doubted, and blocked, you still chose to be you. And that is why you were chosen for this moment. Tomorrow, you will understand why that opportunity fell through at the last minute, why that person walked away right when you needed them, why you kept hitting the same wall again and again. You will understand with a flash of insight, if they hadn't blocked my path, I would never have found the strength to blaze my own. And when you realize that, a great weight will be lifted from your shoulders. No more carrying the burden of past failures. No more needing to prove your worth. Only you, powerful, whole, and at peace, standing in a spotlight that you created for yourself. Write this under the video like a sacred activation of your soul's purpose. I remember this. I have carried the battle long enough. Now, I choose to walk in the power it gave me. Know that the universe has received those words as a sacred vow. You have passed through the dark night of the soul. In this next chapter, you will step into a reality where fear has no dominion, and your faith in yourself begins to manifest a new world. Thank you, my beautiful Aries friends, for allowing me to share this space and this powerful energy with you today. It has been a true gift. Remember, you are the creator of your reality, the master of your own fire. You are fully capable of achieving every single one of your wildest, most audacious dreams. I would love to hear from you. What part of this message ignited your soul the most? Share your thoughts, your feelings, and your own warrior stories in the comments below. By sharing our journeys, we empower each other and magnify our collective light. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Astrology Unlocked and click the bell so you never miss these cosmic updates. We have so much more to explore together. You can click on one of the videos you see on your screen now to continue your journey of discovery. Until next time, go forth and shine brightly. The world is waiting for your light.